It was a quiet autumn evening, around 7:30 p.m., as I strolled through the empty park. The sun had dipped below the horizon, casting long shadows across the playground. My reason for being there was simple, a much-needed evening walk to clear my mind after a hectic day. Little did I know that this ordinary evening would evolve into an inexplicable encounter that would haunt my memories. As I approached the deserted playground, the chilling silence was disrupted by the faint sound of children's laughter echoing through the air. It was an unsettling contrast to the vacant swings swaying gently in the breeze. The laughter seemed to be emanating from the long-forgotten memories etched into the playground's atmosphere. Curiosity gripped me, and against my better judgment, I moved closer to the source of the eerie laughter. The air felt unusually dense as I stepped onto the sand-covered ground. The playground, normally filled with the joyful echoes of children, now stood frozen in time, wrapped in an otherworldly hush. As my gaze fixated on the swings, I noticed a peculiar phenomenon. They were moving on their own accord. The rusty chains creaked with each pendulum swing, a ghostly rhythm that resonated with the unnatural laughter. I couldn't fathom the logic behind this occurrence, and a sense of unease settled within me. Just then, a ghostly figure materialized before my eyes. It emerged from the shadows, its form indistinct yet undeniably present. The spectral entity hovered beside the swings, its ethereal hands reaching out to push them. It bore a visage of sorrow and longing, with hollow eyes that seemed to pierce through the veil of reality. The figure turned its gaze toward me, and a shiver ran down my spine as our eyes met. There was an unspoken invitation in its gesture, a beckoning to join in the eternal play unfolding in this spectral playground. The air grew colder, and a sense of dread settled in the pit of my stomach. In a voice that echoed from beyond, the ghostly figure spoke, its words carrying a weight of ancient sadness. "Join us in eternal play," it whispered, the words reverberating through the silent night. The invitation hung in the air, tempting yet foreboding. I stood there, paralyzed by a mixture of fear and fascination. The children's laughter continued to weave through the chilling air, an unsettling soundtrack to the surreal scene before me. The swings swung with an otherworldly grace, guided by an unseen force. As the ghostly figure persisted in its invitation, I wrestled with conflicting emotions. The rational part of me urged a hasty retreat, warning of the unknown and the potentially perilous nature of this supernatural encounter. Yet, a curious, inexplicable pull compelled me to consider the offer, to step into the realm of eternal play. In that moment of indecision, the haunting laughter and the ghostly figure's beckoning created an otherworldly tableau that transcended the boundaries of the rational world. The playground, once a place of innocent joy, now bore witness to a spectral spectacle that defied explanation. I ultimately chose to step away from the spectral invitation, retreating from the haunted playground and leaving behind the chilling echoes of children's laughter and the inexplicable movement of the swings. The night resumed its normal quietude as I distanced myself from the supernatural occurrence, the memory of that eerie encounter forever etched into the recesses of my consciousness. The deserted playground, once a mundane backdrop to childhood memories, now held a secret, an enigma that defied the rational confines of reality. The spectral figure and its haunting invitation lingered in my thoughts, a chilling reminder that sometimes the line between the living and the supernatural can blur in the most unexpected places and moments. It was a somber evening, the clock ticking toward the midnight hour, as I found myself in an ancient graveyard. The mist clung to the weathered tombstones, casting an eerie ambience that veiled the resting place of the departed. My presence in this solemn space was not by choice, but rather the result of an inexplicable compulsion that led me to this unsettling locale. The time was around 11:45 p.m., and the fog had thickened, obscuring the moonlit sky above. I navigated through the graveyard with trepidation, the uneven ground beneath my feet adding to the disconcerting atmosphere. The reason for my being there was a mystery, a puzzle piece missing from the tableau of my consciousness. As I traversed the winding paths between the moss-covered graves, an unsettling chill crept through the air. The silence was profound, broken only by the hushed whispers of the wind through ancient trees. It was in this spectral silence that I stumbled upon a forgotten tombstone, partially obscured by the ethereal mist. To my disbelief, the inscription on the tombstone bore my name, etched into withered stone as if to mock the passage of time. The revelation sent a shiver down my spine, a disconcerting acknowledgement that this place of the dead held a connection to the living, to me, in particular. As my eyes strained to read the inscription, my breath caught in my throat when I saw not only my name but also the current date. The implications of this revelation were unsettling, challenging the boundaries of reason. How could my name and today's date be etched on a tombstone in this desolate graveyard? Panic began to well within me, a visceral reaction to the inexplicable alignment of past and present. The epitaph beneath my name detailed the horrifying circumstances of my imminent demise, each word a macabre prophecy etched in stone. It spoke of shadows that would envelop me, of a chilling encounter with an otherworldly presence, and of a fate sealed in the darkness of the graveyard. A cold sweat broke out on my forehead as I grappled with the surreal reality unfolding before me. The fog seemed to thicken further, pressing in from all sides, as if the very atmosphere conspired to imprison me within the confines of this spectral graveyard. The weight of the foretold demise bore down on my shoulders, a burden that transcended the rational and delved into the realms of the inexplicable. The graveyard, once a place of quiet contemplation and remembrance, now became the stage for a chilling revelation that defied the laws of time and fate. My steps quickened, driven by an instinctual need to escape the looming inevitability foretold on the tombstone bearing my name. The winding paths became a labyrinth, each turn amplifying the sense of urgency and the unnerving proximity of the prophesied encounter. The air itself seemed to pulse with an otherworldly energy, amplifying the surreal nature of my predicament. As the clock struck midnight, I burst through the fog-shrouded entrance of the graveyard, gasping for breath as if I had narrowly escaped the clutches of an unseen force. The outside world, bathed in the soft glow of moonlight, offered a stark contrast to the spectral confines I had just left behind. The revelation in the graveyard left an indelible mark on my psyche, a haunting reminder that the boundary between the living and the dead is a fragile veil that, under certain circumstances, can be pierced. The tombstone, with my name and the date, remained a chilling enigma, a puzzle piece in the grand tapestry of the inexplicable. The graveyard, once a place of quiet repose, now stood as a testament to the thin line separating the known and the unknown, the living and the dead, and the inexorable dance of fate in the shadowy corridors of existence. It was a hauntingly quiet night, the moon casting its ethereal glow upon a desolate carnival that seemed frozen in time. The time was approximately 11:30 p.m., and the air was thick with an unsettling stillness that hung over the abandoned amusement park. My presence in this eerie locale was prompted by an inexplicable draw, a magnetic force that compelled me toward the skeletal remains of what once must have been a lively carnival. The reason for my being there eluded me, but a sense of foreboding clung to the shadows as I ventured deeper into the abandoned amusement park. The rusty rides creaked in the wind, their silent, skeletal frames telling tales of bygone laughter and joy now swallowed by the silence of neglect. Amidst the dilapidated booths and faded banners, the Ferris wheel stood as a skeletal sentinel against the moonlit sky. It seemed abandoned, a relic of forgotten merriment, yet there was an inexplicable movement. The Ferris wheel spun slowly, its once vibrant colors now muted and drained of life. The ghostly creaking of its mechanisms echoed through the desolation, a macabre serenade that pierced the stillness of the night. Driven by an uncanny compulsion, I approached the spectral Ferris wheel. Its ghostly rotations seemed to defy the decrepit state of the carnival, and an eerie anticipation hung in the air. Without understanding why, I decided to climb aboard the rickety carriage, the cold metal beneath my fingers sending a shiver down my spine. As the Ferris wheel ascended into the moonlit sky, the once muted laughter of spectral riders became audible. Their ghostly glee echoed through the empty air, creating an otherworldly chorus that carried the whispers of joy long extinguished. However, the ethereal mirth soon transformed into mournful wails, a haunting transition that sent a chill down my spine. The Ferris wheel continued its ascent, and the mournful cries of the ghostly riders intensified. The moon, a silent witness to this spectral spectacle, cast an eerie glow on the carnival below, heightening the surreal atmosphere. The ride became a vessel for the passage through realms unseen, a nightmarish journey through the recesses of my own memories. As the wheel reached its zenith, a spectral fog enveloped the carnival, obscuring the skeletal remains of attractions below. The mournful wails reached a crescendo, echoing the sorrows and regrets hidden in the corners of my mind. Faces from the past materialized in the mist, distorted, ethereal versions of people I had known, their eyes reflecting the weight of unresolved pain. The descent began, and with each rotation, the Ferris wheel plunged into the depths of my darkest memories. Images and moments long buried surged to the forefront, a relentless barrage that unfolded with nightmarish clarity. The spectral fog became a canvas, painting scenes of regret, loss, and unfulfilled promises. The ghostly riders, once sources of mournful wails, now mirrored the agony etched across my own face. The Ferris wheel had become a vessel of introspection, a surreal journey through the labyrinth of my own psyche. It was a harrowing confrontation with the ghosts of the past, a reminder that the carnival of memories, even in its desolation, held echoes that refused to fade away. As the ride concluded, the Ferris wheel returned to its motionless state, and the spectral fog dissipated, leaving me on solid ground once more. The carnival, still and desolate, bore the weight of the night's haunting revelation. The ghostly laughter and mournful wails lingered in the air, a testament to the thin veil between the forgotten and the unforgettable. I departed from the abandoned carnival, the moonlit night witnessing my retreat from the spectral Ferris wheel and the unsettling journey through the recesses of my own history. The echoes of the haunting experience reverberated within me, a chilling reminder that sometimes the past can manifest in unexpected forms, transforming the familiar into the nightmarish and leaving indelible imprints on the tapestry of one's existence.